slightly more comfortable, and just everyone else, just see if they can lift them, just see if they can get them more impact, because not having a single player positive in the KD difference on map 1 doesn't show good signs going into map 2.
Well, map 2 is now underway as Vista take to the CT side to start things off. Can they maintain themselves a 2-0 series? Well, Fleeve has other ideas. He gets his P250 straight to the head of Marcos. Goofy can get a responsive back over at CT Spawn. Looking in for a bit more, seeing those T-side players swing their way back out. Get his headshot for the second kill, but a flashbang keeps him blind and keeps him dead. 3v2 as PHR falls, but Jedka makes a swing up here to the site itself, catching players off. Damage done, kill found. Sparrow responds towards 2 more, as it will be a trade from Aaron, but only so far as a pistol for Wisla.
Was that a straight bullet on like a 2-for-1 in one bullet, or was that just an instant wallbang? Whatever it was for Sparrow, it came in so quick. Those 2 kills lit up on the kill feed out from CT, and honestly, just the way that we saw the aggression coming through to try and deny that bomb from going down. Good entry started off for Budapest 5. They opened up the A side, they aggressed forward out to CT. It's just getting that bomb down at default that just makes it so much more difficult. Jedka, the balls for him to go for this kind of a play.
I think that was a second wall bang, a second shot off the back of that kill. It came in just slightly ahead of the kill feed. Either way, like you mentioned, so quickly they returned to position and quickly returned back to the confidence of the Vista side. I mean, that looked like a decent pistol at the start of things for BP5. So the fact it's fallen apart like this is discouraging.
That's not what they would have wanted. Nade out towards that underpass position, just going to do some early chip damage. And even for Jedka, how aggressive and the amount of map control he's found moving forward into Palace.
Yeah, Goofy. Seeing 1, seeing 2, seeing 3 as well. 2 players get mopped up with the crossfire from the A side and from the short play of Sparrow. 3 casualties now. Aaron can get 1 good trade at least, but now looking for a little bit more alongside Corey. That bomb's extended all the way towards jungle, however, so he's got to smoke back the connector control, get that plant in. Even then, Jedka's creeping up the back. There is an open plant. It's pretty much going to be denied. There goes the spray. There goes the kill. Aaron, 1v4.
Well, there's not many bomb plants to be put down in terms of positions out on the A site. You're thinking, okay, we'll plant it open, give ourselves a chance, and there's just a backstab in that you've got no idea about. Aaron does catch off one of the jungle players, and for him, couldn't be able to find much more than that. For Mars, even aggressing further out to Tetris, be able to pick himself up a AK, and for Budapest 5, just that whole situation, just not really finding a massive amount of success at all.
Yeah, nice information play from Goofy and BP5. They had that chance to get that kill on him when they made their way into connector. Opted against really going for the frag, and that cost them. And at the end of it, 2-0 Wisla. Now having the eco basis for BP5. A couple of Eagles will be coming in for the upgrades, and Corey turns his upgrade into a headshot. Jedka down and out as the first casualty.
That's a bit lucky, isn't it? Pre-aim, decent, smoke goes down, can't see anything, and easy kill comes through for the Deagle. Marcos aggressing forward is taking some damage to the pistol. He's got to be careful about how far he continues pushing.
Spray's got to get some money together. Does lose his life in the end to the hands of the Glock. A 5 versus 3. Oh, this eco could look pretty decent for BP5. I would be surprised if they were able to turn it into a win here, especially with that first kill coming in. With 2-man advantage, this is still plausible here for the T's.
This is very winnable. And if they can be able to isolate the individuals, you've still got a lot of util for Wisla to work with. Sparrow's completely alone on the A side. And if they just pummel him out from ramp and from Palace itself, he might have a difficult time just trying to hold. And instead, they're actually going to bring that bomb back out to B by the looks of it.
Walking up for Coolio. Leading the charge with the bomb on his back. Might want to pass that off to a teammate. Flashes in for PHR. Should blind them off, and indeed it does. Well timed. 1 lurk out for Corey. If he can get Sparrow, that could be everything. The shot's ringing out. That draws attention of 1 rotator, and that actually could be the perfect play. PHR's got to go massive. He gets those 2 kills in, sees the other 2 players. Let's drop the bomb. Rotation's inbound. They will lose Sparrow for it, but PHR is holding down the Quadra. They don't need backup. Corey got to hold on to the Galil, I should say. What's back to the AK towards that CT spawn. But either way, a 3-0 start for Wisla.
Beautiful stuff from the big man out on that B side. And he's just the anchor. You're already seeing Goofy getting pulled away on rotation to CT spawn with that walkout from Palace. And the only way that round really gets won by Wisla is if PHR holds on his own. And he does exactly that. Bomb getting dropped. All 4 players dealt with in the apartments. Yes, he's up against pistols. Still though, Jay, that kind of range, it's not easy for the Galil to be able to do that.
In spite of the round loss for BP5, you can still look at this and think that actually it's pretty respectable with the basic investment that they had here and how much damage they got on the board. 3 casualties again against Wisla. Drop weapons out for them. Double up setup can be reinvested into. You can see how the money looks for it, so there could be a reset on for BP5. Find an early equalizer, but can they close out the rounds is what they struggled to do over the course of that last map. It's the only positive they couldn't find. AK's in. Jedka first to fall. Nice and efficient. Damage has been done to several T-side players, but it's a man advantage with a bomb plant.
A lot of spams coming through for the CTs in the midst of the smokes. Nades coming forward. BP5 with a man advantage, even getting a top con smoke. They're looking to take jungle control back.
They might even force them so far as back to save. AWP and Sparrow. Gotta land on the first. No, Bedito's way too close. Flash is in. Bedito gonna take that swing. PHR can get a responsive, but to grab that AWP and save it might be his best call here. Flash back in, grabs the AWP. Flash doing damage, forcing Coolio to get blinded, and yes, BP5 will force Wisla to the save call. A very, very nicely done hold.
It just comes down to decent utility usage. Jedka not being able to find anything from Triple, looks back to relocate ever so slightly, and just can't find a kill, can't find a 1-for-1 trade. Sparrow just gets swung on upon it out in that jungle position. BP5 just having the simple A execution. I like the little finesse of being able to win out that first fight, then get the top con smoke forward, and just look to continue taking fights into jungle, keeping pressure on. Yes, PHR gets a trade back. That's it in the round, though.
So much impact held by BP5 on that one, and it doesn't quite fully reset Wisla just yet. They're very close to doing so, though. Save weapons the only thing that enables this bite to come through here for the CTs. You can see all sorts of mid control, held back away from that mid position. The M4s will try to look down towards underpass. Great flashing and catching Jedka at the right time.
These HGs up to top mid gonna get evaded as BP5 start moving away. And for Wisla, getting the AWPs back in play is going to be very important for them to try and set themselves up. Even having the aggressive approach out from the apartments itself, BP5 looking to go in for something similar to what they did in the last round.
Coolio sees one player back at connector. He's going to put that smoke up to force him back even further. Worry about that mid presence as Aaron turns up towards the palace entrance is seen initially. AWP close for Marcos, needs support. He gets a leg shot on Bedito. Rotations inbound as Corey sets up to the site. They are not really on the site itself of the CT forces. Back over the jungle and connector. Still trying to anticipate where Coolio was from, but that plant will be secured again in the 5 versus 4.
This might just be a save already. Sparrow's being very slow to move off from that B site in the short position. They don't have the best of util. They haven't been able to get a pick back. And for Wisla, they'll just say to themselves, okay, we'll save again. We'll be able to drop a weapon over to Marcos in the next.
And one more gun round in for Wisla. A couple of pretty simple save calls coming in from them, and BP5 will stack up. Start to look for some competitiveness here. For the first time in this matchup, they have looked competitive against Wisla. A single round differential now that the T-side have gotten started.
That's what we're hoping for BP5, is put on a decent showing. A slight hunt from Corey, looking up to that top mid position, not going to be able to catch anything. And just simplicity, running out the early default, going back in for the set piece on A. It is slightly different that time. More so quicker out from ramp, and even for the AWP on the first aggressive point of call for Marcos, not being able to find a 1-for-1 really hurt that retake, only doing damage onto the first.
Running a deagle out for Marcos in this next round here, Wisla. Going kind of eco in terms of the investment, down to a pretty decent 1.9k float. Smokes and flashes going over, T-side players walking their way up, PHR falling away, the mask in, Aaron sees him, gets his kill, opens things up.
Wisla didn't really have much presence out in that B site at all. They stacked in A quite heavily. And for PHR, he does great damage, honestly, when you think he's by himself. The HE, the spam with the FAMAS. Bedito down at 28, Aaron at 62. Even Corey taking some himself. And that situation where they go, yep, we'll hold on to our weapons, bring him into the next. And knowing that they didn't completely force down for Marcos, they will be able to get PHR a weapon going into the next. And Spiro, Jedka, and Goofy can even drop something over to Marcos. Spiro, if he likes, can pass back that AWP. Tied up scoreline. I'm liking this.
Mostly down to the save callings from Wisla, however. Like, there's been no contention in these rounds. Easy opening frag and then falling away from position. One player, Marcos, could get hunted. That Deagle is going to lose the Kevlar as well. That might hurt the buy-up a little bit more. We have seen 2 casualties in for Wisla Krakow. Should see the buy-up, however, coming in from them. Indeed, they drop those weapons. Indeed, the M4s will be coming out with the AWP for Sparrow. Can they get a round on the border? Will they get forced to save for a 3rd, 4th round in a row? Also, how many rounds has it been since they've saved away? Like, they've been going for it every single time.
Even PHR had the opportunity of going for body armor and getting an AWP out for Marcos. They've opted against that. Early mid-take from Budapest 5. It's a little bit more pace coming in and actually catching off Spiro in the apartments.
Right, AWP for your battle going the way of Fleeve. Now Goofy launching in for players on the short control. Gets caught up by Corey. 5 versus 3. Marcos hurt on the tag damage. The Molotov are going to try and force him back out of the corner. Can Fleeve catch the blind kill? No, his teammates on short can though. 2 left standing and BP5 look like a force to be reckoned with here. Far better in this map by comparison to the first 1v5 for Jedka.
And just more excitement coming through from the playstyle. They're playing with confidence, and you can just see that early entry out for the apartments, how everything just starts working together. The short players splitting through, attention being drawn, utility usage coming through into the apartments, holding at bay. Aaron even getting the tap onto Jedko. No one surviving this time around for Wisla, and BP5, they've got a lead.
And a very confident one at that. It could have been a hell of a massive lead on the scoreboard had they got those rounds in without Wisla saving. Forced to take these fights, not even given a chance to say. They just got picked apart piece by piece. Such great coordination, such great util usage to force the CTs out of the way with that opening frag that started things off. And a force half by a Hero AWP and M4 round from Wisla. Getting desperate now to get themselves back on the lead.
I don't know how much I enjoy Spiro AWPing over Marcos. I don't mind the double AWP setup coming through, and it just shows that the in-game leader wants to be able to try and set up himself. Maybe it worked with the plan of getting aggressive up from top mid, not seeing anything.
Well, it's going over again for a very quick execution. Deagle standing by, Badito leaning up, not checking top of Palace. He had a chance here to deny this player, but he's only going to see that one individual. He realizes it's a lurk. Little do they know here. Wisla went for the rotate back, and the B site's completely open. Goofy can catch that one kill. But again, the bomb will go down, and Wisla have no kits on this retake.
I might as well send it, even for PHR. He's sneaking through. He could catch the bomb out for the apartments, and instead Coolio's going to fall.
There's info on Corey and information towards the Apps player. Corey tagged up very, very low. 4 versus 3. This is doable still for Wisla. M4's in. AWP baited. Corey gets caught. Aaron finally gets a trade involved, but still the advantage sits to the favor of BP5. Marcos, the concerning element with the Deagle still in. Fleeve got tagged on his way back down. AK picked up. Spray through from Goofy. And Fleeve in a 1-on-3 here. He's AWP. Got to isolate each individual. Gets that first kill. Looks back into market where Sparrow's waiting for him. And the defuse will come through for Goofy as Wisla will hold the 4th.
And it's moments like that where you do have to criticize BP5. They've done well in the setup. The lurk out from A of just a single individual is holding the rotates. There is no one on this B site. Yes, Goofy can find that pick, but how does PHR come away when there's T players with their knives out, when Fleeve is missing AWP shots, when the trades are coming back? That should have been such a simple round for BP5, and instead they bottle it completely.
Yeah, no short presence at all for them, allowing Wisla to sneak their way back up. And you can imagine that Wisla will be going to be playing with confidence to do plays like that, so why wouldn't you cover short? Big mistakes made, but credit to Wisla for getting as far ahead as they did. Utility again coming down, fast execution in towards that A side, the set piece one more time. One player getting caught completely blinded off. Jedka dead. Corey tagged. Molotov to drive Goofy back here. Will suppress the CT side and eventually catches though, kills Corey. That's another couple to his name, a triple up for him, and a much better execution to follow up from BP5.
That was an interesting setup coming in. We saw Jedka just playing out from the city spawn area, thinking he was going to get mollied in that left-hand side, swung out so wide, and just allowed Corey to just continue finding entries, opening up A pretty much all by himself, even going aggressive into CT spawn, trying to hunt these last couple of CT players. Fleeve could catch off the AWP into the apartment. So much damage coming in.
And PHR now left to get the exit frag, sees Fleeve, doesn't get the kill. Orp wins that fight instead for 2 kills to his name, and Wisla lose all their weapons one more time. BP5 defend the lead. You see that kill out of CT once again. You can see how Jedka was completely full blinded there, like he had his hand in front of his face. All sorts of util usage. Again, the util's been pretty fantastic for BP5, and that just goes to show why they were favored in this particular map up. Wisla still trying to brute force their way into this game. Another double AWP setup brought down alongside upgrade pistols.
Yeah, they're making some interesting decisions with the buy, I'll put it that way. Because this isn't a force, is it? It's a hero double AWPs where they buy down quite heavily, not completely. And Coolio is actually going to be the first one to drop. Big
kill for Sparrow, just dishing out the damage towards that short position. They aren't aware of the sniper's nest. And again, much like how BP5 were not covering that off, Wisla will not cover off the sniper's nest. Sparrow still adjusts towards that man, gets his 2 kills involved, 3 on 3. Look back over towards that Palace position. Oh, he's locked on a Fleeve. Gets his head, sees his backup as well. Aaron training back to evens again. The multiple drive PHR away. That bomb can be secure, but that AWP, Marcos is hungry for more frags. And it looks like the double AWP force buy might still work.
Even for Arrow, how does he play this? He's got no smoke to smoke off top con. Plant open for CT. Doesn't know how quickly the rotation's going to be coming from PHR. And Marcos is just still watching the angle.
Aaron tapping it, trying to force the players ahead. Out of CT is where PHR is going to swing from. Aaron gets the bomb down. Caught looking the wrong way, though. The spray comes up good. And Wisla will steal that round, recover that double AWP setup as well. And continue to disallow BP5 to get ahead of the curve here. The bomb plant bonuses are going to keep building up the money, however. They've got plenty in reserve. There should be another buyback here from the T's.
And there aren't many in-game leaders that can AWP at the same sort of level that Spiro can in and around sort of the tier 2 and 3 scene. The only other one that comes to mind is sometimes when Bubble from Fiend picks up the AWP, just finding so much damage out from the site itself, finding himself a 3k. That rat play in from Jungle seemed that it was going to be an easy kill onto Spiro and somehow doesn't go that way at all. Every time BP5 seemed like they're going to start extending a lead, it just doesn't quite happen.
Well, Wisla finally responsive every time, but BP5 always trying back in when they get those good rounds on the CT board. Must play in for the mid control. Goofy expecting him to come out to Connector. No one's watching Connector directly. He's trying to manage both sides of this entry. We'll rotate back, having left Corey up in the con position. Go back for a standard wraparound and probably a simple execution again.
Getting a player up into top cons silently like they have, put themselves in a good position if they can start pulling distractions. Resmoke for Jedka to play outside of ramp's going to just hold them on the site execution into A itself. And Goofy is getting the read that Corey might be playing from here.
To the inbound, Jedka ahead of the smoke out towards that ramp position. The Dito caught, seen as the smoke clears. Jedka's got to escape. Sandwiched in by T-side forces, down to just 5 points of HP, eventually dead. AWP AK's getting all those kills. Badito, Fleeve and Corey chime in, and another basic, simple, but effective execution from BP5. The set pieces on A are so deadly from this team.
Well, they're sharp, and they're very individual, and they're showing that on the set pieces, they can get immediate entries. And that whole round just comes down to Jedka taking so much damage, not finding a response out from ramp, looking to relocate, and then just getting picked off with the timing. Great swing out from Corey in that top composition. Sparrow even falling to Corey as well. A great round in for BP5, and we're just going back and forth, back and forth. The CT's economy is just wrecked.
BP5's money line should absolutely fine there. Didn't lose a single individual. No trade frags at all from Wisla. Good stuff from Corey as well. Was that swing on the AWP that looked so good there.
Lovely.
How quick and efficient, and how accurate you need to be on your pre-aim to get that shot, man. Like that's just incredible stuff again. And now it's down to a harsher eco this time for Wisla. No force buy, just the Eagles into the half C.
Now they're getting the read of, again, playing players out from this mid position. PHR just getting forced further and further away. Spiro now relocating out from market. Coolio just waiting for rotates.
Cut one player off at least here, Goofy. That with the USP, Molotov's down. Rings and roundabouts. Marcos gets the kill on Aaron. Starts things off for Vista again with his pistol upgrades. Awkward spray from Coolio. Does catch those 2 kills in the end. Not too much of a worry there, but 1 AK for Marcos to save, and I think for an eco, that's fine for Wisla.
Yeah, they could be happy with saving the rifle. Spiro might throw himself quite late into the round, hope to catch any of the CTs sleeping as Marcos gets the pick onto Coolio. Jedka's waiting for them to run out for the short position. There is a lot of damage done to this T side.
They're caught in the bomb blast, all caught in Jedka's crosshair. Line up the collateral, okay. There's a couple of weapons to work with. Fleet can also go down, and indeed he will. An expensive round, only saved by the fact that BP5 have a lot in the reserves. But Vista getting as much as they can out of these rounds, even when they are ecos.
Yeah, they can be very happy with the damage they did there. BP5 just a little bit sloppy in terms of the exits, the lineup. They're all low HP, so one bullet's going to be able to connect to them all. And even having the confidence to fight onto the AWP, they don't quite recover it. Corey going quite aggressive out from ramp is going to be halted by that incendiary.
They're getting credit for a decent eco. Now they've got to turn it into a decent gun round here, and a gun round victory in particular. Damage is great. Good ecos are all right. But it's rifles into wins. That is the next big challenge for Wisla. I've got the rifles set in. This time a much more slower default from Budapest 5. Maybe on to push the smokes up and go for another A execution here. They're wrapping their way over from spawn.
PHR wants to deal with any kind of lurk play aggressively and from connector. Re-smoke down, Coolio going to do the same. AWP knows that there's someone out from that underbout position. Jedka aggressive out from ramp. Anytime they've had aggressive ramp plays up against the set piece, it hasn't actually gone very well for them.
Got to find that opening kill at least. Flashbang in, actually evaded by the CT forces, and Jedka and Goofy can win out the fights this time. 2 for 1, smoke and flashback down. Got to check out towards Palace, and Jedka will take a swing with a secondary kill ahead of his name. Flea spamming, Deagle in hand. Coolio to strike out towards Palace, or Apartments I should say. That bomb can rotate from Palace and back in towards Abs, into that B-side play. Spiro didn't hear the footstep either. He thinks there might be a mid-control act.
Just bring that bomb back over, and for Coolio, he can't strike too early because they've still got to allow that bomb to cross forward. And now the sound cue's coming in. Spiro's going to start thinking to himself, I'm going to clear back out from short. Look, it's B, doesn't know that Coolio's there. That's a great frag.
The HR is still close to the site. Bomb plant can be denied here. 15 seconds, all-important kill. Coolio got to sit to the center of the site. Deal with all 3 of the individuals remaining here for the CTs. 9 seconds, player spotted. PHR going to take that fight, lose it. But the AWP's there to respond towards all the same. And Wisla will find themselves within 1 again.
Well, it was well played to draw the fight onto Spiro. It just comes down to them not having a lot of time, not having the opportunity of clearing out the site completely, and PHR just denying that bomb. Jedka, what a round from him!
This flash from BP5, I don't know if you noticed that, it went a bit too deep in towards that ramp position. Enabling the second player did turn away from it and play anti-flash. The first one, however, didn't get blinded at all. That costing Budapest 5 this time. Rifles in, AWP out, Molotov's back. It's a lot of presence in Palace, looking like there might be a very quick play out of Palace itself. How can Vista deal with this?
Well, they're playing 3 on B, which is something they haven't done before. Dry walk out for the pass position, a couple of flashes over the top. Out from CT, they do miss the window.
Nades on, Goofy gets his kill. Corey can respond towards that first kill. Second and third up for grabs, but he only gets the 1. Jedka responds towards him. Spiro is going to burn towards Fleeve here in Sniper's Nest. That's a decent kill alongside the AWP turning in against Jedka and getting the man advantage back for BP5.
Fleeve is just holding the angle. AWP is going to peek forward. Another kill comes in from Fleeve. And it's a very puggy style here on T-side for the Hungarians. It's quick, it's very loose, and these just set pieces, there's so much variety in the utility they use. They're even going to be able to catch off the AWP.
Why?
Oh, mate, why? Because of the entertainment purposes.
I don't like that at all. I don't like that. There's no need for it. Just get the win. I mean, it's not like you got money game to think about here. Like, it's...
Psychological factor, however?
Possibly, okay. Yeah, that's one angle to work with. especially knowing that Vista don't have a lot of cash involved in this particular round. The Deagle does still find that opening kill. They're aware of two players in a mid position, scrambling with Budapest 5 to consider their options now. They're going to make their way out towards ramp and pallets very quickly here. Dark has not even been checked. Molotov of Aaron comes out at the wrong timing. Spro and Goofy can get those kills. The Molotov goes so far in position as well. Marcos on site. Fleeve can get one pick back, responded to by Goofy. And this is far better even from Wisla. Well, no mental game played in this one. They just get ripped apart. And they should take 7 to close out the half.
Well, Corey, he's known to do a bit of double open. This time around, though, not going to be able to find much with that secondary AWP. And that whole round just is unfortunate with the timing. There's a molly that's going into that underbout position just when the MP9 starts swinging. And for Wisla, they've kept it tight. They've kept it close. The only problem is it's their CT side which is stronger. And knowing they didn't really give themselves a crazy lead, start thinking to yourself, now we go into the second half. Is this where BP5 just start running away with it?
That is the big question, I'd say. Again, a lot of eyes on the Vista Krakow CT half, because that is the better half when it comes to their history on this map. Unless they've got a few tricks up their sleeve, unless they've got a decent beat onto what BP5 are doing, unless they've got some ideas as to how to play this second half. I feel like things might still be to the favor of BP5 regardless. Again, these guys have played a far better map here. By comparison to... you know, again, that first one in the series, a 16-4 is not possible anymore for Wisla. Not possible for Budapest 5 either, but again, just far better from them is the bottom line.
And we know that recently they've played a decent amount of Mirage. A couple of those officials coming through from Nexus and from Nom. They started on CT on both of the maps in which they played Mirage. 5 rounds on CT against Nexus, 10 rounds on CT up against Nom, the Israelis. So there is a way in which that for BP5 up 8-7 that they can put some early pressure forward. We know from the start, respected halves, they kind of did it in the first, is just trying to lead from the front and put early pressure on.
Still 8-7 for that CT half of things for BP5, and again, knowing the things that they're looking at a good stance for them. Again, far better in this second map by comparison. This next half could be the one that really puts us up to that third map duel. Again, that's what they're looking for on the Hungarian camp. Wisla have one real opportunity to deny it. The Glock's out and the utility involved. PT50 for Marcos. Fuses in for Coolio with the double flashes on the defensive line. Let's see whether BP5 can continue the hype train.
They are playing the kit out for mid in a rotating position from Coolio if he does want to start moving between the A and the B site. Fleeve wider out from the mid portion rather than hugging the wall. May get caught off by a time because Vista are going to put a molly forward.
Straight in, the USP's back down. Aaron sees several, gets gooshed up alongside Coolio. Similar scenario. Coolio's going to get overwhelmed. Gets that one frag, actually. His teammate in Flav falls. Corey gets involved with the trace back, and Aaron's still here. The site gets a headshot in. Jedka drops to Corey, and Badito cleans house. It will be a pistol for BP5.
Lovely stuff coming through from them, and for a moment it seems that Wisla have got themselves in a good position. They're starting to sandwich in the jungle and window players together. They're swinging out quite wide out from top con, and then all of a sudden, where are all these frags coming back from for the CT side? They're bringing back the 3v3 almost in an instant. Corey getting involved, Aaron too, Badito being able to provide the assistance, and, well, a 9th round being found.
Nice body block there from Corey to win out another good fight against the T-side line, kicking things off on the right foot here in the second of the half. Pick found easy, follow up on Goofy. No real chance for Vista to force their way back into this. BP5 to get a confident round out of this, to build their economy state and continue on.
For Wisla, they've just been picked apart by Corey and Fleeve in the early portions. And now in a position where you start thinking to yourself, what's the likelihood that they could do anything? They've got to catch the CT sleeping, and they're just walking down from mid.
Good shot on Marcos. They need to fall next to the hands of the Eagles, so is there anything left in this round for Wisla? Is that going to be the start of things to come? Or will BP5 just hold control with another good trade? I mean, Badito is pretty low, so they could find that kill on him. Damaging short presence looking against him and Coolio. 40 seconds and the apartment's control's taken. It's going to be the B play.
That's the boost up in the ninja box, though, which is the T side going to overlook it at all is the question. And Coolio's not hearing anything. 30 seconds on the clock. It is going to be the split into B. It all comes down to the immediate entry for the T's.
And Cafe Singh sees one. Flash turned away from. Keeps looking up. PHR caught with some damage here. Still swings. Scout takes his fight. Coolio wins it instead. The Eagles spamming their way forward. Need to get this kill. Now got to look for the last player here. Where is Badito? The M4 instead could actually strike as Marcos goes falling. Flicks back. Jedka will win that one fight, but 4 seconds. Bomb plant's not going to happen. Corey makes it a triple. BP5 make it 10.
Well, Jedka just knows from that position he's got to keep fighting. The bomb gets dropped on the balcony rather than slipping down, so there's no way he's going to be able to get to the site and get it planted in time. BP5 just time wasting out on the B defense, just being able to pull them for a loop. Jedka will be happy that he did fall before the time expires, so he's going to get some of the money back. BP5 up to double digits and looking to turn it into 11.
Should be easy enough with the Glocks out this time. Still some upgrade pistols here and there. No Kevlar, no util, not a lot to resist the rifles that BP5 do have. Aaron did get dinked up first. So Trevor actually tries to isolate a kill on towards Corey. A lot of damage being done to the CT side. What is it with these ecos? They're coming up so good here. M4's in their hands. Fleeve gonna fall. What's going on, boys?
There's not even any armor. It's a couple of upgraded pistols. It's like 2 Deagles and a P250. Oh, no. This is the worst case scenario. They're going to get the bomb down, too. There should be no way back for the CTs.
Oh, boy. I don't even know what to say. I don't understand what's up with these ecos, man. They look so good a lot of the time over the course of this series. Smokes back on as Budapest 5 try and get themselves back in with a diffuser, try and hold themselves something in this round. 7 seconds, however, to get the whole diffuse together, and the bullets just flying all over the place for the T side. Will give them that eco steal for Wisla Krakow.
Not good enough there for BP5. That is an absolute gift for Wisla. And there's so many bodies in and around jungle and top con that as soon as you tap that bomb, everyone is going to spam. And it's the M4 that even gets picked up by Spiro to turn that whole round into a 4K. There should have been no way anything would have been found. And now there's even a knife to the back of Aaron.
For some reason. Because that's still a thing in professional CS. I don't understand how. A scout of Badito, however, is also a thing. And it gets Wisla the first casualty. Sparrow down. Damage done to Jedka as well. Can there be another force by steal back from Budapest 5 this time? Molotov's Fleeve. Gonna get out of dodge, force him even further away. Teams will make their way up towards that mid position. On towards short is where they're gonna go. 2 players against a whole. Corey and Coolio. Engagement against Corey wins that fight. Or we're gonna look in for Coolio here at the top of balcony. Will they hard check this corner, or will Wisla be a little bit more impatient towards the factor here? Yes, they all check it. They'll get the kill.
Just all needs to come down to checking your angles, and PHR does exactly that. Badito and Fleeve know that they're only going to be an eco in the next round, so hold on to what weapons they can. Pete comes through, the scout, or Badito's going to struggle to stay alive here now.
Doesn't even stay alive for that much longer. Fleeve 1v4, M4 to hold in and save into this next round. It will be a night for Wisla. The pistol win conversions do go the way of Budapest initially, but that eco win could now flip the whole matchup back on its head, as there's not a lot of cash in reserve for the CT side either.
Wisla have, again, been granted a gift by not only winning the eco, being able to follow up and keeping mass players alive. Now, they're not on double eco status, so we should just see USPs being able to back up that M4. Badito started the round off nicely with the scout.
That bullet missed out so nicely there from the apartments. If that had connected to the head, which it probably had a window of doing so, that could have been a different state of the round. Always going to be hard to hit at that high pressure, close quarter scenario, knowing that the T-side players en masse on short. Can't blame him too much. USP's out for the CT side again. Fast plays up for the MAC-10 of Goofy, having one man in the back over a bench of Coolio. Checking out all positions, trying to hunt for this M4 hose. On a reload, gets that kill easy.
Very cheeky, just waiting for the sound cue, and wall of smokes come through onto the B side, cover large, market door, market window, complete execution coming out, and the pistol's just getting ripped apart. The only, I guess, positive element in that round for BP5 is, okay, the M4 might be able to do something, and it was just the MAC-10 that dealt with that M4 just so quickly.
You go 10-all as Wisla continue stacking their way up in this map up. Still looking for that 2-0, even though it might have felt like at the start of the map it was a bit of a pipe dream. BP5 going into this CT half, now looking for that M4 on Badito's part, just to get shut down by Goofy. Is, well, surprisingly enough, the T-side players have all the M4s across their main rifles other than the AWP. Saving money, I guess, because it is value weapons. Even so, how efficiently this whole round has gone together. It was an eco, now come the guns.
And we're yet to really see the AWP of Marcos get striking. Corey up on the BP5 side has had a very successful Mirage so far. You get to sort of see what Marcos can find with it. Looking out to that ramp position, not quite catching the timing of the CTs getting into connector. Do want to try and fight for this mid control.
Flashes in. Corey looks up, Sparrow gets caught. Good start again for the CT side. Can PHR find a response? He'll try and look to do so. Aaron hears footsteps, Molotov body block. Goofy actually catches the kill back off instead, so a 4 versus 4. A site's relatively opened up here, but Deto's got to deal with PHR. If PHR can find any sort of impact back here, this could be massive. The M4 spray comes up blind, but catches his player in the end. Meanwhile, Flea pulls out his knife at the wrong time. Goofy can't get a kill, but he can suppress him. Meanwhile, action towards the CT spawn. Corey sees that AWP cross and catches Jedka up at the palace control. Goofy responds back to a 3-on-2. The bomb can go down here, but it will be difficult to hand off BP5.
Someone's going to have to make a play, try and bring the man advantage back, and now the smokes are starting to dissipate. Get that bomb down, open for CT. Coolio the wall bang is doing damage.
Goofy body blocked it, could get the bomb plant anyway. Now it's all to him in the 1 versus 3. Getting that first kill, getting back behind danger box as well. Got to find Flea, caught looking the wrong way, but adjusts with the HP advantage and wins out the round. For Vista though, that was M4s on the T side, so you can treat that as a bit of a bonus and see success regardless.
You 100% can, and with those M4s being picked in, it keeps the economy very, very strong. And it is honestly a weird feeling looking at that round, seeing how many M4s there really were for the T side to work with. They get away with a bomb plan and 3 kills, not quite being able to get the clutch together, and being able to get those rifles forward. And for BP5, they have been able to now get a lead back again.
Only temporarily though, this looking very easy to respond. Look at the nade, stacks up, only doing so much damage to Flea, but landed a little bit lower in bottom con. He sat there above and most of the damage got absorbed by the wall as opposed to him and Corey taking much. Advantage for now. Wisla playing passive.
Got a pop flash on contact for the apartments. As soon as they hear a sound cue, as soon as they see Util come out over the top, they can flash in, just allow Corey to peek with it. Wisla just trying to see if they can bait out a mistake. Finally, the vent being popped open, and PHR actually deals with Corey getting aggressive. Him being so passive in the apartments means that flash that comes in just doesn't even blind him.
$60 remaining. Aaron's going to press the issue towards Ramp Sparrow. The steps are being heard here. This could get a little bit awkward. Util in hand. Easy kill. Seen the bomb as well. That's an all-important frag to pick back, but Goofy's going to strike out of the connected control. Aaron's still here towards Ramp. Gets his kill. Looks for PHR as well and gets a double up. Turns back towards the bomb carrier. Each individual 1v1 being isolated, but Marcos can finally win one of them. Bring it back to a 2-on-2.
Oh, the timing for the AWP. He looks away and starts moving out to the open. Coolio's now going to try and clutch the 1v2. Knows that both players are up onto this A side. No smoke goes down. The flag goes open for ZT. Coolio just gets the kill. The bomb gets denied, and now Jedka's got to pick it up.
No counter smoke. Bomb plant attempted a second time. Jedka goes off after the AK. Swing out for the kill instead, but Coolio wins it. Second to his name, and BP5 just barely recover that. A hell of a play out towards Ramp, though, really set it up.
Yeah, Aaron, you've got to take a bow in that situation. Such a great hold, and they know that he's here. They're trying to peek together out to the Tetris position, and they just can't do so. The angle up to the top stairs, even trying to do further damage. And Coolio, this was not easy. It took him quite a while to deny that bomb from going down. Winning out the 1 versus 2, he'll be feeling good about that one.
BP5 continuing into the next round so early with the kills. Wisla, no bomb plant, but still sitting on a decent cash reserve. Rebuying, of course, as you would expect here. Unset, M4's leaning up for Corey, has Goofy, just barely missing out. Molotov in, Sparrow comes up with a pick back, Corey can respond, and PHR can respond again. 3v3, Aaron's alone towards the A side, got to get aggressive against Sparrow, win this fight, and indeed he does. And BP5 now have positional and man advantage above the T's.
Aaron's been finding a lot of success with these aggressive players out on A. Fleeve is going to rotate in from CT now. In the last round, he got caught off being too wide on the angle. Coolio has not seen the bomb out from Tetris either.
Look on. Looking up. On plant. Could be secured. No, it's not. Coolio comes up from short instead, leaving it all on Marcos. The 1v3 taps on. Looking up and over. And just caught tunnel vision at the wrong timing. Easy picking, 13 to 10.
Money is not in a good position at all when it comes to the Wisla side, and for BP5, they have found a serious amount of momentum, even when you think about the tilting factor that could have been there to losing to such a light eco. They have put on some good performances in this second half. Bai comes back in is going to mean that Marcos is on a P250, a MAC-10 for Goofy, and AKs for the rest of them.
All sorts of guns out. Up in on Corey. Shot missed out. Here come the teams. Very quick execution for this one. Corey can take a swing and a secondary kill back. Jedka responds to a 4 versus 4. One man on the site. Backups coming in from short as well of Fleeve. His own orb. Set and ready to support the defensive. Leaning up for PHR. Behind the smoke, the CTs will remain. The bomb plant can't yet get secured. You're right about that, though. Sparrow could be all important. PHR comes up, and Sparrow lines up 2 more. 1 man left in Aaron. 1v3 to clutch.
Oh, when you speak about some of the tunnel vision there, Jay, and what a display from Jedka and PHR on the site for them to pull as much of a distraction to allow Sparrow, the in-game leader, to walk up from short, get a couple of kills. Aaron's been able to sneak his way through from the market door position, but it can't be any more than that. Marcus with the AWP is going to find the connection, and BP5 now looking at themselves. Oh, we're kind of double eco for 3 of our players.
Now starting to get hurt by their own CT economy. We saw Wisla have money troubles in the first half. And how many times they went for ecos and forces and half buys and all sorts of compromising scenarios on the money line. BP5 got to do the exact same thing here and could bring us back within 1 of the lead as a result. Straight in for Marcos, missing that first shot. Doesn't get a beat on how many CTs are out here. It's a full-on A stack. And these USPs, they really want to charge straight forward and deal with as much damage as possible here. Goofy struggles with the second player. Marcos gets 2 kills of his own. And it looks like this round will still go right back on track for Wisla.
I still don't know if BP5 are going to buy next round. Because I looked at that one. Coolio can't buy. Badino can't really buy. Aaron can't buy. So rather than forcing it up, they're going to just eco twice.
Technically double eco status without the forced investment in the first.
Yeah.
They'll go half buy into this round, which I think is the best call for them. Upgrade pistols, give a bit of firepower. Not enough to definitively expect a lead in this round. But still could work out to the favor of the CT side if they place their shots correctly. We've got Corey placed out to that short position. Sparrow's going to make his way down mid. Flashes forwards, slow walks.
Yeah, BP5, they need to pull out a miracle, really, in this eco round to keep the lead in their favor and to not just let themselves get tied up. All comes down to the read, where they can stack themselves in. And for Wisla, money is starting to build for them. So if they go into this eco and come out successfully without losing many players, it could look really strong.
2 frags easy for the AKs. Coolio getting caught, I think, at the gap in that smoke. There is 1 kill for Pedito. No more than that. Jedka responds. Marcos caught with damage. The orb still lands his frag through the wall. And Fleeve in a 1v4 really should get dealt with by Goofy, assuming he doesn't go towards the apartments. Even if he does, it's only a matter of time before he gets traded.
Get the pick on the Goofy, hold on to the AK, could be nice. Oh, timing.
Oh, shots! Oh, accuracy! Oh, everything's going right. Everything everything's falling apart. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh,
now he's running.
Yeah, let's pretend that never happened. I think that's what BP5 want to think. Marcos set to do out the last kill. There it is. Oh boy, a bit awkward for Fleeve. Shame about the AK save, but I don't know. 13 all. Wisla again will hold themselves within equalizing contention. With guns back out for BP5, this could be their chance to extend once again.
It is a whiff, but really, even if he gets that kill, is he going to get up to top mid and get that gun when there's that many T-side players in from mid itself? Probably not, so it doesn't make the biggest of differences in the world. What does make a difference is the outcome of this round. Marcos going very aggressive. The damage onto him and Spiro early round.
So low on HP numbers, 7 and 14. We're going to wait. Sprays through. Bombs left and Jedka gonna start leaning. Boost up as Coolio tries to look out towards apartments. Sees nothing.
Oh, they're making an info play. They're pushing aggressive out from ramp. This kill could be everything, and Aaron's gonna tell him he sees nothing on A.
Easy kill on Sparrow. New till coming down will indicate it's got to be a B hit. Incendiary's on. Counter Molotov's back to Coolio. Should force him out. He stays alive. No, he burns as it extends beyond even that balcony. Goes down towards Van and gets us back to a 4v4.
Excellent utility for Wisla to be able to read that play of what was coming through. Now they're going to start working out from the mid default. It's Bedino to take the peek in from window to win the fight.
Back to the favor of BP5 we go. The low players been taken out. It's all to 100 players. On 100 HP, PHR, kill found. Bedito down, info gain to the center of the site. Are they aware of the second man? Well, Fleeve going to give up the ghost on that front. Still fought off by Jedka. Did not see Corey. That bomb's been dropped as well, so the second CT can come forward. Why is he not rotating? Aaron's not going to get here. Corey's going to hold off against 2 on his lonesome. PHR's going to come easy. The second man's going to be the problem. 15 seconds. Jedka going to make his way around here. Footsteps heard. PHR caught back. 10 seconds remaining. Jedka's got to fight real quick, and he gets caught off by Aaron, who finally rotates in from Market and keeps BP5 in the lead.
That's well played from Corey, because you're right about that rotation from Aaron. That was very slow. Expecting another lurk out, knowing that PHR got a kill out from top con. He's thinking to himself, is there going to be another sneak play where they're trying to cut rotations and just pull us for a loop? Corey just needs to stay alive, take that fight to PHR, and just allow that crossfire to come through. BP5 up to 14, and the lead taken again.
Flashes out. Sparrow going to lean forward. Fleeve out of dodge for the AWP. Nades up from Coolio should do damage. Marcos tagged up alongside Goofy. Marcos took the brunt of that damage. It's just tags. No kills early on here in this round.
Wisla probably quite happy about not losing a massive amount of damage like the last one was. Quick play coming out for Goofy. Flash over the top. He's going to run with this.
That's Coolio with his pick back. Sparrow going to start walking up here. T-side players coming out of the apartments, tagged up so heavily on Jedka still. Walking out of this connected control. One player coming in from underpass. One for Bedito. Keep your eyes on him because he could be a major element as Corey gets a flick directly to the back of the head of Marcos. Going to keep back in towards apartments. VHR's going to drop. Sparrow's going to fall as well. And it's a 1v5 for Jedka. And the confidence that we saw from BP5 from the first half finally echoes in the second. The flawless round from BP5.
So for Wisla, they try and get the first of Goofy out really quickly, and they leave a super late lurk behind the smokes on the short position from Sparrow. Unfortunately, no one really gets entries in that situation at all. The first kill comes out, backstab in from Bedito means that the apartments players can't move forward, and BP5 getting up to 15, 1 to go. The buyback looks decent for the T's.
Bash in, Orp watching, AWP boosted. Flick does not connect for Fleeve. It connects for Marcos instead. So he opens up the round towards mid and gets the man advantage of Wisla.
Just what the T's were looking for. That run boost attempt. Corey might even get caught out from ladder. Gotta wonder if there's going to be a volley forward or some sort of way to try and force him out to the open, because they are moving towards this ladder room.
At the corner, wins that fight just barely. 19 points of HP, picks up the AWP, loses it to Coolio. Knows how close that player is on the short presence here, and he's the only one on that B site. Info that Wisla don't know just yet. Continue playing at the default. Where do they go with this?
Goofy is in a very good position because all it's going to take is some slight distractions and he's going to just start making info plays, catch the underbarrel player but not get the kill.
That's rough. Don't know if he heard Coolio either. PHR can strike on Badito at least. AK out for Aaron, swings out in the open, looks for a secondary pick back. AWP and Marco strikes, but where's Coolio? He put that smoke in. I think they might have an idea. Or do they think that that last player out towards the site put that smoke down instead? Nades on. Okay, I think they know here. They should just grab this bomb.
Coolio rotating out to CT spawn. Wisla have got an opportunity of picking up that bomb, going back to B. They're just going to work with the information they've got. Know that he's out there in jungle or in CT.
Go pin, looks for the angle, getting in each other's way. PHR make a position and hold down the kill count, hold down the round. Hold down number 14. Keep Wisla alive for now.
And you'd have to imagine that Fleeve almost might think about blaming himself in that sort of round, the way that he was posted up on that short position, got run boosted for Marcos and lost that first fight, lost the early advantage. Now going into round 30, they might have to go to OT because the money on the buy, it's not great at all.
I'd say it's pretty likely they might just do that right here. Into overtime we could be going here for the Wisla side. BP5 lose that first fight, all important. PHR takes some damage, but the kill goes the way of the T side, and that is everything that they need. Fast execute could come through with smokes going down early, but they're not going to act here. A counter smoke involved for the CTs.
They've still got Spiro lurking into the apartments. Was that just a straight spam? There wasn't any gap in that.
There might have, I mean, I don't think
Only
he was on the left-hand side.
Right? Yeah, no. He was like at Tetris.
Yeah, you can see the blood splatter. That was just sheer luck for the MAC-10, but that could be enough now. 5 on 3, BP5 resting on a miracle to get this round back together. That kill for Fleeve makes it a little bit more doable at this one. PHR to swing back as well. Molotov to try to drive Fleeve out of position. He swings, he still wins out a second fight somehow. And we're back to a 3v3.
It's very dry coming in for Wisla rather than the set piece. Spiro still trying to make his way into that top cold position and Fleeve's pushing forward.
Imagine he gets this triple. Imagine what that could do to the complexion of this round here for BP5. AWP so close, he's keeping his eyes on the backstab as well. Fleeve could time this so well. That bomb's in the open, footstep heard, orb in, miss shot. Oh, Fleeve's got a triple. And just like that, it all falls apart for Wisla. What should have been a guaranteed win to take us to OT is now falling apart at the seams. Spiro 1 on 3 now, dealt with by Coolio. And 16-14, Budapest 5 barely maintain their map pick and barely maintain their lives in this best of 3.